from the excess daily stock return portion. So this one is, we need to just do like, oh sorry, not from here, we want to select from here, right? Okay, do not make this mistake. Okay, so we select up to this, and then we put a comma, then we need to select x variable. So again we start from here. This is the excess return, make sure it's the excess return, so column D is the excess return. Okay, so this from here we need to go up to exactly to this point, we cannot have different different length of x and different length of y. It should be the same. So we close it, we put, so now it's the alpha of the stock. Okay, now we need to get the beta. To get the beta we use another command, that is slope, and we need to select the exact same data range that we select from the alpha. So for simplicity we can just copy this, Ctrl C, and then we can just write slope and Ctrl V. Okay, so this one shows that alpha is 2.2, which is very high. I don't know why their alpha is so high. Maybe because of this short period of time. Maybe for other companies we will find alpha not so beta not so high. That means here beta 2.2 means if the market goes 1 point higher, then the stock will go 2.2% higher. Alright, so now we need to get the abnormal return of the stock, but before getting the abnormal return of the stock we need to define which is the normal return of the stock. Now again from the CAPM we know that expected return is equal to alpha plus beta into the market return plus the firm specific factors. So we actually want to find the firm specific factor, so that's why we need the expected return. So here the expected return should be, this we are actually predicting what the expected return of the stock should be, provided that the alpha and beta of the stock is this. Okay, so we need to predict the expected return like alpha plus beta into market, this is the market return, should be market daily return. Should it be market daily return? Okay, let me just recheck that. Okay, so now we want to predict the stock return depending on the beta. So the formula is risk-free rate plus beta into market risk premium. So this is risk-free daily rate. So as we are calculating data on the daily basis, so we are going to select the daily risk-free rate, and we want to lock this, we want to fix this one pressing F4. Okay, then first of all we want to put a bracket sign, then select the risk-free rate and want to lock it. then plus beta this one, and we want to lock it as well with the F4. Just press F4, and we want to multiply it with the market risk premium, which is actually the excess daily market return. So select this one, but we don't want to lock this one, so close the bracket and press enter. So this is the expected return of the stock, and then we want to just double click on it. Now this is the expected return. That means depending on the beta and the risk-free rate, this should be the return that the stock should have earned. But now we want to calculate the abnormal return. Maybe we don't need that up to these ones, so I'm going backwards. We can just need up to this point. Okay. Alright, so the abnormal return is the actual return, which is the daily return of the stock. This is the actual return minus the expected return. So this one is the abnormal return, and we just do it like this, and okay. So here you see at the day 0, now I'm going to, alright, so the day 0 the abnormal return was 2.65%, but the day -1 the abnormal return was 4%, day +1 the abnormal return was 1.93%, and this one is 5.25%. So it seems that before the publication of the news to the media, there might be possibility that news was leaked. That's why the people took this took their advantage and started trading one day before the publication of the news, and some people got the news maybe 2 days after that, or maybe this day, so their abnormal return is presented at day 2, but in day 3 it's again negative. So that's it. That's the way you do the event analysis. Now you need to calculate the cumulative abnormal return. Don't worry, I will do that. You just do the analysis up to this point and send me the Excel files, each of the company's Excel file to me. So remember that you need to do the same procedure for every company, for every news. First of all, you need to get the data, run the this analysis, get alpha, beta, expected return. But be careful that in every point there is a possibility of making mistake. So if you make some mistake, maybe the mistake is silly, but it will ultimately give a wrong estimation of the cumulative abnormal return. Now these numbers are very lower, so if everybody makes some mistakes, that then ultimately our average cumulative abnormal return will be biased, and maybe will present some information that is not consistent with our analysis. So I don't know how many news I will get, but I think it will be like 20 to 30. I actually don't, I have no idea at all, but maybe for you, each of you need to do some like up to 5, 6, 7 on analysis, even a study. So I would suggest you to take some time, do the analysis in a very careful way, so that there is no mistake. And if you get confused about anything, you can contact me or any other group members who can help you. So that's it. So I will collect the news information, and I will give it to everybody, and I will tell the people. I mean tell each member which company they need to follow. Okay, now remember another thing, that you need to fill up this portion, otherwise it will be very confusing for me. Now the ticker of the stock was BBS Cable, and the news date was 4 February 2020. Okay, what's wrong? What's wrong? What happened here? What? Okay, maybe this time copy it here. So news date was 4 February 2020. What's wrong? Why it's changing its value when I write it in here? Okay, the news type is good news. News description is what the heck? Okay, let me fix that. Okay, so I have just solved the problem. In the previous section, when I was discussing about, I was writing in here and the numbers was changing in here. So what was the reason? It took some time for me to find out. The reason was that when I was calculating the excess return, I was not fixing the daily risk-free return, that is this amount, by using the dollar sign. So when I just double click this on this portion, this number was like following that, like this and this and the downward trend. But when I was changing the numbers here, it was showing that the number is not available, so it was showing some reference value or something like that. So that was also happening here. I didn't log this cell, so that was also changing. So now you see that just because of this simple mistake, I had a big impact on this result. Now you see the result have changed. So the moral of the story is that you have to be very careful, and I have also modified these portions so that you can understand from where to start the beta calculation, beta and alpha calculation. That means the starting point. If you want to select those cells, you can't do that because I have somehow changed it. So that's it. You just take it and study so you can better understand. Then I will collect the information date, the news date, and give it to you. You do it. Alright, thank you, bye.